Okay, so first thing I do is comb through the hair and try to find out where the natural baby hairs usually would fall. And I just take a thin piece. Yeah, I take a thin piece out and I kind of separate it from the rest of the hairline. Then I spray the entire hairline with water, and this, you guys, will help you out tremendously when you're pulling out the hairs. It just makes it a lot easier. I find the hair is a lot more brittle when it is wet. So just take a really good pair of tweezers and go in behind where those baby hairs would be and just really thin out that hairline. Remember that customizing your frontal takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. You're not going to get through this in like 10 minutes. This is like a 30 to 45 minute ordeal to customize an entire frontal. So be liberal with your plucking at first because the hairline is kind of dense. You're going to want to comb through it every so often and you'll get a lot of shedding. But just all of that plucking I just did, it only produced like this amount of shedding. So we're going to do a lot more plucking. Right now I'm feeling kind of happy. I'm like, oh, I did a lot of plucking, and I tried to push it back and I was like, oh yeah, it's still dense. So I was making absolutely no headway. So I decided to try a second method because I was getting impatient, and this is my swoop method that I do. Basically I make like a C shape and then I go into the part of the C and I thin it out. And I kind of just thought about doing this because I realized that I swoop my baby hair. So I feel like if you go ahead and just kind of shape the grooves of your hairline in that swoop already, then you will have, it will just be a lot easier when it comes time to like lay your baby hair because you had already, created that kind of flow with the tweezers. Once you've plucked the part, go ahead and go into the actual chunk of hair and thin that out as well. Again, you're being liberal with this. It's a lot of hair, and because you separate it, you're not actually plucking the very front of it because of baby hair. You could always cover it if you go a little too tweezer happy, but I find that doesn't really happen as much. Like, I've never been too tweezer happy. You're always able to kind of finesse it so that it doesn't look like you have a bald spot. So I just do this repeatedly. I make swoops, I pluck the part, I make swoops, I pluck the part, and then I go in and pluck the chunks of hair. And that's basically the method I do to make my hairline the most natural. Now you see I've separated those baby hair parts again, and I'm going back behind them and just taking out any parts that look like they're too black, like I don't see any gaps in between. I'm going in and really trying to thin those out. Then I'm going to take my razor comb and I am going to cut the parts that will be baby hair. I'm not going to cut them in the baby hair shape just yet because I don't want to do that until the wig is on my head. I'm just going to cut them into like little wispy hairs so that I don't end up plucking them. I can keep those separate when they're short. I can just go ahead and kind of push them to the front. Well, now I feel like a liar because I pushed them all to the back, but the reason I did that was to see how thin that the hairline was. Like I did earlier, I just wanted to see my progress and see where it needed more plucking. So every now and then you're going to have to go back in and comb it and go back in and smooth it. Right now I'm wetting it and I'm going to try to swoop the hairs as if I was going to create my edges and just see which parts are giving me trouble. And if it's giving me trouble on this head, I know it's going to give me trouble on my hair. So I'm going to go into the parts that aren't swooping as easily and go ahead and thin them out as well. Like this part here is huge. It is not it's not swooping easily at all. It's really fat, so I'm gonna go ahead and thin it out. It looks like there's a bald spot right there, but that's because that part is going to go behind my ear, and then there's going to be a part of hair that I keep in front of my ear, which is like my little wispy part. I really like that look, so I go ahead and make a kind of like a triangle shape there. As you can see, the grooves are really starting to take form. Yeah, like it's looking really good and really natural right now. I'm really proud of myself watching this. Yes. I'm doing a bit more plucking just to make it a little more thin in the front. And that's basically all I do to make the hairline look as natural as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.